It's weird.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Good.
Yourself?
I'm all right. Thank
Good.
you. Can you all see the septuplets, stickings, and grooves thing?
Yes.
Could, but it's disappeared.
Oh,
You did?
I can see the black screen that says septuplets, stickings, and grooves, but I can't see the one and the gutter stuff that's gone.
yeah.
Yeah, no, you're seeing what you're supposed to see.
Oh, gosh, that.
You mean you can't see this?
Yep,
Yeah.
that was there, but yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, because I was showing you the presenter view rather than the presentation view. I'm just gonna wait for Ben to join us. But yes, septuplets today. Hopefully we'll do everything I had planned, but if not, that's okay as well. Okay. There he is. He's there, but we don't have sound.
Job. Did you look at Time Guru to see if that did?
I didn't, but I can do that now.
I'm sure when you've got rooms across the top, you press on 5, and then you can put in what note value you want. So I'm guessing, like a quintuplet would be 5/16 notes, wouldn't it? Or
Yeah.
so you can change.
1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2.
So
And then if you do a 7 and change the note value to 7/16 notes, it'll
1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 1.
let me see. Yeah, I think you're right.
1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2.
No.
no.
This is what I suspected.
Okay.
So it's not changing to septuplets. It's changing to a 7/4, or rather, sorry, a 7/16.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Which is
So when you choose 16th notes, it's actually you're just choosing the denominator of the meter.
right. So it's only counting up 7/16 notes. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
But they are just regular 16th notes. Yeah. So it's
Right.
not septuplets.
Right. Okay.
I knew that Time Guru could do multiple different meters, which is already quite something.
Yeah.
Most metronomes don't allow for that. But yeah, not subdivisions. And ironically, metronome beats allows to change subdivisions, just not in a sequence. Like it doesn't allow you to change them. Yeah, but you can put septuplets, such as like that. But that's metronome beats.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, but that's why I have like 5 different metronome apps, because
Sure.
All right, so let's do a quick warm up. In 7, so we are in 7/8 for the warm up. It is not septuplets necessarily, although we can play septuplets in 7/8. Nothing stops us from doing that. It's just so we can start feeling at least a 7. This time in the shape of a meter, not of a subdivision inside the beat. Just to make that very clear. But either way, let's do a quick warm up. Why don't I have sound? There we go. Okay, so the counting. 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 4, 5. So let's get into this. So first, the counting system. Okay. Septuplets, we count 1e and the getaka. Okay. So once again, just like last week, these sounds don't mean anything. 1e and the getaka, 7 sounds. So you've got 1e and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, 4e and the getaka, 1e and. Now the cool thing about these sounds, especially the last 3, they're very sharp, right? Getaka, they're very kind of sharp and staccato sounds. So it helps to really place those notes in the right place, because those are the ones that people tend to blur out a little bit sometimes by accident or rush, because they start a little slow and then they realize, uh-oh, the next beat is coming, so they kind of rush the last 3. So it helps to keep them even, because they're such sharp and you know, crisp sounds, right? Getaka. Especially the k, I would advise really accenting that one there. Right, 1e and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, 4e and, right, to really give that 7th note a bit of a push. Okay, so first exercise, singles. Okay, we'll just play the septuplets. All right, nice and easy. I'm gonna start very slowly here with the metronome. Of course, because it's an odd number of notes, if we are playing singles, every beat starts with the opposite hand. Right, so the first beat 1 in this case would be with the right, and then beat 2 is going to be with the left, and so on and so forth. All right, so here's the click in septuplets. I'm going to go actually a little slower than that, just for the counting for now. Okay, so 1e and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, 4e and the getaka, 1e and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, right, left, 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 right, left. 1e and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, 4e and the getaka, 1e and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, and the getaka, 4e and the getaka, and the getaka, and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 4e and the getaka, 1e and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, 4e and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, 4e and the getaka, and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, 4e and the getaka, and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, 4e and the getaka, 1 getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, 4e and the getaka. All right, awesome. Now, same thing, I'm going to go a little faster, but this time let's put the feet on the quarter notes. Okay? It's going to be important for exercises that are yet to come, so let's get used to that straight away. Okay. A little faster, and now also both feet playing quarter notes. So, 1e and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, 4e and the getaka, 1e and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, 1e and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, 4e and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, 4e and the getaka, and the getaka, 2e and the getaka, 3e and the getaka, 4e and the gutta gutta and the gutta gutta and the gutta gutta one and the gutta gutta 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 and the gutta and the gutta gutta and the gutta gutta and and the gutta and the gutta and the gutta and the gutta and the gutta. Awesome. Okay, so real quick, do we have any questions for now? Nope. All good. Okay, so let's start with the table of time exercises, right? So we're going to start to alternate between different subdivisions. Okay. Let's start. First of all, we need to get used to counting the septuplets against the metronome that is not in septuplets, right? So now we're just going to have the click giving us quarter notes. And we still need to find the septuplets in there, right? 3, 4, and the getta getta 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 and the getta getta. All right. So that's of course step one there, because otherwise we become too dependent upon a metronome that is giving us the septuplets, and then it's virtually impossible to alternate with other subdivisions because we don't know how it relates to the quarter note pulse. So having done that, let's do 1 bar of each. So we'll play 1 bar of quarter notes, 1 bar of septuplets. For now we can, I guess, count septuplets the whole time because the quarter note still fits. Here we go, starting with the quarter notes. In fact, starting with the counting. Let's do that first. And the getta getta 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 gutta gutta and the 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 gutta 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 and the gutta gutta and the gutta gutta and the gutta get the ka and the get the ka and the get the ka get the ka and the get the ka get the ka and the get the ka and the get the ka and the get the. Awesome. All right. So before I move on, any questions?
No.
No. Okay. Next exercise, we'll now switch from eighth notes to septuplets. So now we're going to have to change the counting. Right? So that's the first thing that you guys have to try to do is turn on the click and do the necessary adjustments to go from, from the eighth notes to the septuplets. And don't be frustrated if at first it feels like you needing to stretch and compress a bit, like to find where the downbeat falls against the click. That's fine. That's the brain needs to do that. It needs to kind of, okay, oh, I'm counting the eighth notes too fast, slow down, right? It needs to do that until it sort of acquires a certain sonic memory of each one of those subdivisions, right? The idea is that there's no mathematics happening when you're playing. You don't want to have that sort of calculation happening. It's just you trigger a sort of, in a way, a muscle memory. Or it's not muscle memory, it's sound memory, but you kind of just remember what a septuplet feels like against a pulse. Now, the more speed you expose that to, the better, because that also happens, which is why, by the way, a lot of people develop strange blind spots, strange but because they are unexpected, but blind spots in terms of their BPM, meaning, for example, this is quite funny because some people can play really well at 60 BPM, no problem, timekeeping is spot on. They can play really well at 100 BPM, no problem, and then they have a blind spot at 80, where the tempo wobbles a lot. So, and what is that? Is they just didn't do it enough, right? It's not. It doesn't translate necessarily that because you did 60 and 100, and then suddenly all the in between is covered, right? So a lot of people, like for instance, they are learning something real slow, and then they play. When they jam along to music, they never try to use those exercises. So that information doesn't know how to translate. It's the same thing here with all these subdivisions, right? The more you count different speeds, different tempos, the more your brain sort of starts to understand how to divide the quarter notes. So let's do the counting first. 1 bar of eighth notes, 1 bar of septuplets. Just counting for now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and boy and the get the get and the get the get and the get the boy and the get the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and boy and the get the get and the get the get and the get the boy and the get the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and and the get the and sorry T and the get the don't slap the mic. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the get the and the get the and the get right. So the more you do this, the more precise you'll find it to be, right? It starts to become really much more close to, especially with the numbers being the check-in moments, right? Where you see, like when you say 2, as soon as you transition to the septuplet, did I speed up? Did I slow down? And it's important to keep that, what's the word? To keep assessing that, right? So if you feel like, oh, I landed the 2 a little early, okay, you're counting the septuplets too quick. That's fine. Just spread them out a little more until you find that, bang, it's locked in, and then you just try to stay there. All right. So now let's do the same thing whilst playing as well. We'll count maybe 4 bars, 2 of each. And 2 and 3 and 4 and boy and the get the and the get the and the get the boy and the get the and 2 and 3 and 4 and boy and the get the and the get the and the let's play boy and 2 and 3 and 4 and boy and the get the and the get the sorry, 4. Sorry, let me start that again. I'm rushing a bit. 2 and 3 and 4. Eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 2 and the get the 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 2 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 2 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 2 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 2 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get. Okay, cool. Let's do the next one. So now we'll switch from eighth note triplets to septuplets. Just those two. So same thing. Let's just first do the counting. Starting with the eighth note triplets. And 4 and 5 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get 1. And the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get 1 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get 1 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and the get. Okay. Any issues, questions, or shall we? Yeah. For anyone who feels comfortable, let's put the feet in there as well on the quarter notes. All right, so let's do just a couple bars of counting. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 2 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 get the get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 4 and the get the get 1 and 2 3 and 4 and 1 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the get the get 3 and the get the get 3 and the get the 1 and the 2, the 3 and the 4 and the 2 and the get the 3 and the get the 4 and the get the and the 4 and the 1 and the get the 2 and the get the and the get the 4 and the get the 1 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the get the 2 and the get the and the get the 4 and the get the 1 the 4 and the 1 and the get the 2 and the get the 2 and the get the 4 and the get the. Okay, cool. Next table of time or next exercise, 16s to septuplets. But it ended, and the 1 and the get the 1 and the get the 2 and the get the 2 and the get the 4 and the get the 1 and E and E and and 1 and the get the 2 and the get the 2 and the get the 4 and the get the 1 E and I was counting a little fast. We'll go a little slower. So first the 16th notes. 1 E and 2. That's too fast. 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and the get the 2 E and the get the 3 E and the get the 4 E. I'm rushing 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and the get the 2 E and the get the 3 E and the get the 4 E and the get the 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and E and 1 E and the get the 2 E and the get the 3 E and the get the 4 E and the get the 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and the get the 2 E and the get the 2 E and the get the 4 E and the get the E and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and the get the 2 and the get the and the get the 4 E and the get the 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and. Okay, I just got distracted here by someone sticking. I was looking at the screen like that can't be right. So either we are in a tremendous delay here, or so the sticking. So this is for Derek. The sticking. There is something to be said about teaching via Zoom when you're seeing 3 different people playing 3 different things, like because of the delay. So you're like, okay, hold on, where is he? Is he playing the septuplets? Okay, Derek. Just so for my own peace of mind, because I don't know if he was wrong or not.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
What was the 16s?
Yeah, when I was playing the 16s, I wasn't switching properly, so I was missing some.
But what do you want to switch? That because what I was looking, I could see you trying to switch something.
Yeah, I was trying to switch the accents on the 16s.
So can you play that for me without the metronome?
Right. So we've got 1 E and yeah, that's
Right.
why.
Why are you trying to do that with the left?
Yeah. That.
Right. Golden rule: if it's an even number of notes and an even number of hands.
Yeah.
Right. So unless you have 3 hands, there's no switches when playing 16th notes.
That was a mistake.
Exactly. That's what I kept looking like. Why is he
Yeah.
accenting with the left?
I'm going like,
and I'm like,
my brain's going like, what? You don't. Oh, anyway.
you're overthinking it. All right.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Let's
So
go back to the. Yeah. Go on. Wait,
E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and get that 2 E and.
Right, but you do want to play the accents. So like obviously I was playing the accents and
Yeah.
we're all to play the accents
Yeah.
because it gives us a nice frame of work. It's much more clear as to where the downbeats are landing.
Yeah.
So we do want to accent the numbers though. So try that
Right.
again.
Okay. So we've got 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and
done. All right, let's do that again with a click real quick because I did get distracted and I apologize for that.
So did I. My
Yep, too late. I muted you. All right, here we go. Okay, so 2, 3, 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and we'll start at the next bar. 1 E and get the 2 E and get the 3 E and get the 4 E and get the 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and get the 2 E and get the 3 E and get the 4 E and get the 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and get the 2 E and get the 3 and get the 4 E and get the 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and get the 2 E and get the 3 E and get the 4 E and get the E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and get the 2 E and get the 3 and get the 4 E and get the E and 2 and 2 E and 4 E and get the 2 E and get the and get the E and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and get the 2 E and get the 3 E and get the 4 E and get the 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and get the 2 E and get the 3 E and get the 4 E and get the E and E and 2 E and 4 E and 1 E and get the 2 E and get the 3 E and get the 4 E. 1 E and 2 E and 4 E and 1 E and get the 2 E and get the 3 E and get the 4 E and get the. Awesome. Okay. Now I'm becoming conscious of time. It's 35 past almost, and I've got quite a lot more stuff to work on. So we will not do all the different options such as, okay, quintuplets to septuplets and 16th note triplets to septuplets and all that stuff. We get the logic. Let's move on. Okay, so the next concept here, so you guys can see the stickings page now. Singles, doubles, and paradiddles. Okay, I'm just gonna unmute you guys for now. Unmute. Okay, so we've got singles, which we've been doing already for quite a while. And then we've got doubles and paradiddles. Now, these are interesting because, obviously, they're very clear groupings of 2s and 4 notes, right? Against a subdivision in 7, it creates all sorts of displaced patterns and stuff like that. So, for example, the doubles, let's just analyze what happens to the sticking real quick. If you just play your regular doubles, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, you realize very quickly that at beat 2, it starts with the left. Right? And it would be good if I hadn't miswrote that, because there's a left missing there. But no, it's fine. It's correct, actually. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. And then it carries on, right, right, left, left. And then third beat, which is not there, would be left, left, right, right. It continues on. Beat 4 would start with the second right of the right-hand double. And then it resolves at the end of the bar. So it goes back to the beginning. Now, of course, what you're noticing there is that you've got, a double going over the beat line, right? It starts on the k of 1, and the double ends on the 2, left, left. Yes? Is that clear?
Yeah.
And then B3, if it were to be there, which I guess I should have written the whole bar, which I did for the paradiddle to make it more clear. So let me just do that quickly. Because otherwise it might be a bit difficult to visualize how it resolves. Okay, so it starts like that. That's fine.
Excuse
Bless
me.
you.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Is it changing on your screen already or no?
Yeah.
I'm writing those. That one just now, I wrote it as an uppercase, not necessarily to be played as an accent. It can be, but it's not necessary. It's just so we see where the beat starts, right? Okay. Yeah. So then, of course, if you complete the bar, then it goes back to the beginning again, right hand lead. Now, to really, like, there's two things that we can do, because otherwise we're just playing doubles, right? Which is kind of, you want to use your muscle memory to take you to the end of the bar, right? Then what you want to do to challenge, or to, at least to make sure that you're really playing septuplets, is to count, and then another challenge would be to put the feet once again on the quarter notes, right? So you start off by just playing your doubles, 1 E and the gataka, 2 E and the gataka, 3 E and the gataka, 4 E and the gataka, 1. Then if you put the feet on there, 1 E and the gataka, 2 E and the gataka, 3 E and the gataka, 4 E and the gataka, 1 E and the gataka, 2 E and the gataka, 3 and the gataka, 4 E and the gataka, 1 E and the gataka, 2 E and the gataka, 3 E and the gataka, 4 E and the gataka, and the gataka, 2 E and the gataka, 3 E and the gataka, 4 E and the gataka, 1 E and the gataka, 2 E and the gataka, 3 E and the gataka, 4 E and the gataka, 1 E and. So if you split between two sounds, it becomes even more interesting and also a little more difficult, but actually it creates a nice little tool to make sure that we don't accidentally play 3 rights or 3 lefts, to kind of resolve patterns in more convenient ways. And that those things, by the way, happen by accident. It's not like, I never think that the student is trying to, like, oh, he's trying to cheat. It's literally the brain trying to correct, default back to a leading hand, especially with these patterns that kind of go over the beat line and they're strangely placed against the pulse. The brain tends to add notes to make that more, what do you call that? Just more predictable, more mechanically predictable. Like I start the beat always with the same hand, so the brain adds a left, so you kind of end up there. So and then you wonder, like, oh, hold on, why did I end on the left hand or the right hand, whatever. So when you split between two sounds, if you do that by accident, you'll hear it straight away. You'll hear 3 toms rather than 2, right? Right, something like that. If you have that, you can hear the doubles, right? Even if just melodically, you're hearing them, right? Right? And then you 1 E and the gataka, 2 E and the gataka, 3 E and the gataka, 4 E and the gataka, 1 E and the gataka, 2 E and the gataka, 3 E and the gataka, 4 E and the 1 E and the gataka, 2 E and the gataka, 3 E and the gataka, 4 E and the gataka, 1. 2 E and the gataka, 3 E and the gataka, 4 E and the gataka, 1 E and the gataka, 2 E and the gataka, 3 E and the gataka, 4 E and the gataka, 1 E and the gataka. Okay? All right, so this one is a little trickier. So I'll give you guys like 3 minutes, so you guys can play that. I'm gonna mute everyone. You guys can play that at your own tempo, and then we'll do it together with a click. All righty. So, so far, any questions or major difficulties? I mean, it's not supposed to feel easy, but let me just unmute everyone.
It's a bit tricky.
Yeah. Did you try with the foot as well?
No.
Just
Not
can't.
yet.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's tricky altogether. It's that strange thing of the brain, right? That we've um, we've witnessed multiple times with when studying odd groupings of notes or when studying odd meters, the brain wants to default back to more, you know, familiar numbers and familiar placements and familiar. That's the name of the game, right? So we're trying to inject something that is not familiar. It doesn't resolve in a familiar way. It takes a whole bar to resolve, whilst most drummers are very kind of wired to resolve everything every beat. So when that's not the case, it kind of becomes very strange, especially with the doubles case of you have those doubles going over the beat line from the cut of 1 to 2 and from the cut of 3 to 4. Those are the strange ones, right? But okay, any other questions? Mind blown? Okay.
With the accent, it's really tough.
You definitely can put the accent in there, right? So with the accent, you have, right? Because you have that. I'll go slower so I can say the sticking. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. So that's a soft accent. So it starts with an accent soft. Right, and if I split between two sounds to make it even more clear. And the gut the good 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 and the gut the good. Right, and accent work that's another thing. Even in singles, we can play a million different accent patterns that will kind of break our. We talked about this briefly last week with creating these illusions of polyrhythms. So even if you're playing singles, but you decide to accent every other note, of course, in septuplets, that's going to create a displacement after a beat, right? Because if you've got like a 1E and a get the 2E and the get the 2E and the get the 4E and the get the 1E and the get the 2E and the get the 3E and the get the 4E and the get the 1, or 1E and the get the 2E and the get the 3E and the get the 4E and the get the, right? That kind of stuff. In that case, I was accenting, you know, 1 out of every 4, right? So 1E and the get the 2E and the get the 3E and the get the 4E and the get the 1E and the get the 2E and the get the 3E and the get the 4E and the get the and the get the 2E and the get the 3E and the get the 4E and the get the 1. Right? All these different patterns, which by the way, it will happen with the paradiddle. Okay, so with the paradiddle, we will not play those accents that you see on there, because I just copied that. We'll play the natural accents of a paradiddle, so the capital letters on the sticking. In septuplets. And then you try to put the feet where the numbers fall, right? So makes it all much more interesting. And the paradiddle, to make it even worse, it takes 2 bars to resolve back to the right hand. That's a lot of notes, right? Takes 2 bars. What is that, 56 notes? Yeah. When we are all used to resolving a paradiddle in 8 notes even, right? 8 notes, boom, you're done. Now it takes 56 notes to resolve back to the right hand. It's crazy. Why are we doing this? Let's just... Who plays this shit? Okay, so let's do the doubles real quick. And then, yeah, we've got 10 minutes. I can tell you guys that all I had left, I can show you, was then the Chafee stickings. And we were going to explore the applications in fills, grooves, time signatures, and polyrhythms. And then there's the book by Chafee that addresses specifically those topics of the metrics and the polyrhythmic applications. We won't have time to do any of that today, so we'll do a part 2 next week for the septuplets. Is last week the last session of the month? Because I still want to do one with mixed subdivisions. Let me just check.
No, I don't think so.
No, we have one more. Okay, we have 5 this month. That's good because this is deep. Okay, cool. So next week we'll do part 2 of septuplets, and then week 5 we'll do mixed subdivisions. Okay, so doubles. For now, to help with this one, will give us the septuplets. Okay, so ba and the gata ka two and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the gata ka one and the gata ka two and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the gata ka one and the gata ka two and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the gata ka one and the gata ka two and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the gata ka and the gata ka two and the gata and the gata ka four and the gata ka one and the gata ka two and the gata ka and the gata ka four and the gata ka one and the gata ka two and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the gata ka and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the gata ka one gata ka two and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the gata ka one and the gata ka two and the gata three and the gata ka four and the gata ka and the gata ka two and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the gata ka one and the gata ka two and the gata ka three and the gata ka four one and the gata ka two and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the gata ka one and the gata ka two and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the gata ka that's 2 minutes. Okay, I put the accents in. I guess I did a bunch of different stuff there. I was playing just on the snare, then I was playing between 2 sounds there, and then I put the accents in there as well. And I was playing the feet on the numbers. Okay. All right, so then the paradiddle. Same logic, right? We kind of want to default and rely on muscle memory. So if you don't have your paradiddle super memorized, this is going to be very difficult. But if you do, you can kind of get the paradiddles going first and put the counting on top, right? Just as a way for your brain to see, okay, this is where the new numbers are, in a way. So you kind of get the paradiddle going. I'm going to stop sharing. All right, you get this? And then you switch the counting to septuplets. One and the gata ka two and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the gata ka one and the gata ka two and the gata ka and the gata ka four and the gata ka one and the gata ka two and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the gata ka and the gata ka two and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the gata ka and the gata ka two and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the gata ka one and the gata ka two three and the gata ka four and the gata ka one and the gata ka two and the gata ka three and the gata ka four and the gata ka one and the gata ka two and the gata ka three gata ka four and the gata ka one and the gata ka two. And then if you want to make it really cool, just for your practice, I was already putting the bass drum on the numbers, which is very challenging, but you can then alternate between singles and paradiddles. In this case, actually it makes it easier because the singles sort of allow you to reset your brain a bit, right? What I would do though, I would do 2 bars of each because the paradiddle takes 2 bars to resolve. It makes it nice and you know, easy to start the singles with the right hand in this case, right? So you go 1 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 1 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 1 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 1 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 1 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 1 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 1 and the I forgot the parallel. 1 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 1 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 1 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 1 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 1 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 1 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 1 and the gataka 2 and the gataka 3 and the gataka 4 and the gataka 1. Just like that, nice and easy. Okay, we'll leave it at that today. You guys can practice this stuff during the week, as we'll come back to these next week. We'll do these ones again. I guess I kind of rushed through them because I was looking at the time. And then we'll do the chafy patterns and the grooves. In terms of fills, I guess we can take a look at orchestration and ideas for orchestration more than specific fills. But the drum beats for sure. And then, like I said, week 5, we'll start to combine all of these. I'm going to
send the PowerPoint, please, Joe.
Well, I can't hear you. Oh, wait. It's not you, it's me.
Hello, can you hear me?
Say that again.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Oh, could you send the PowerPoint, please?
I'm going to send a few things, actually. I'm going to send the PowerPoint, and I'm going to send the PDF for that book, Rhythm and Meters by Chafee. I can show you guys because I've got that PDF as well. So where you're going to find reading text already using multiple different subdivisions in one beat. Sorry, one bar. Well, one beat would also be possible, by the way. But. All right, so this is the Rhythm and Meters by Chafee. Okay, so I'll send you guys that straight away as soon as I leave the call. All right, any questions before I go?
No, it's good, thanks.
All good, Derek?
Yeah, in that metronome, not metronome, in the Time Guru, there's a 16th note with a 7 over it. What? That wouldn't be.
That's a 7/16.
Still right.
That's all meter. What?
Yeah.
You're referring to what we were talking about earlier, I think.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Yeah,
So
those are all meters, not
how would you-
divisions.
So how would you get a septuplet? You say you can do it in metronome beats.
Yeah, metronome beats allows you to do that.
Right.
You just gotta change the clicks per beat to 7. That's it.
Right. Okay. That's great. Yeah. Got that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got it.
that's the
Yeah.
one.
Cool. That's fine.
Awesome. All right. So I'll send you guys the stuff and have a good Sunday. And
And
I'll
you.
see you all when I see you all.
Yeah.
Okay. See you
Yeah.
later.
Take care, all. All right.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Right.